Well, after the craziest offseason in recent memory, the NBA season tips off on Tuesday night with a couple of very interesting matchups featuring last year's finalists and two of the teams that made big offseason moves in an attempt to catch them. Why don't we start in Cleveland, where the Cavs host the Boston Celtics. Cleveland, a 3-point favorite at Betsafe, 212 the total in this game. Celtics, of course, won 53 games last season. They were the number one seed in the Eastern Conference entering the playoffs, but they ran into these Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals and could not get past them, so they totally dismantled their roster. I mean, the Celtics only have 3 rotation players returning. Their biggest addition, of course, Kyrie Irving, who came over from the Cleveland Cavaliers in maybe the offseason's most stunning move. Nobody expected Irving to be moved, but he forced his way out of Cleveland. He will join new arrival Gordon Hayward in Boston. Celtics should have a very intriguing lineup now, but how quickly is it all going to come together? We know certainly Kyrie Irving, a lot of experience, but he's a playmaker. This guy's not primarily a facilitator. He can facilitate, but he looks for his own offense. Same with Gordon Hayward. This is a guy who has playmaking, facilitating ability, but he is a score-first type guy. Fortunately, there's other guys on Boston's roster, glue guys like Al Horford, probably going to make the transition easier. Still, is it going to come together? What's it going to look like here opening night? Hard to say. Now, Cleveland, they've got a lot of new pieces as well, obviously. They lost Kyrie Irving, their second-best player. They replaced him with an over-the-hill Derrick Rose. They also have Dwayne Wade joining Rose in that backcourt. Wade, another guy whose best years are behind him. My major concern for the Cavs here on Tuesday night is the status of LeBron James. James sprained his ankle in the second day of preseason camp. He only played in 1 of the team's 5 preseason games, and he is questionable here on Tuesday night. You'd think even if he goes, he's probably not going to play 30-plus minutes, and he's surely not going to play that hair-on-fire defense that he does once he decides to step things up in the postseason. So you know what? I think the Celtics have an excellent chance of going into Cleveland here and pulling off an upset. I know that these Boston guys have not played together for a real long time, but Cleveland incorporating some new pieces as well. We mentioned Rose and Dwayne Wade. Jay Crowder comes over from the Celtics, also a new piece of that starting lineup. So both of these teams with several new pieces. I know the game's in Cleveland, but LeBron questionable with that ankle injury. Just not sure the Cavs are going to bring the passion in this one. So I'm going to take a chance on Boston +3 here on opening night. Moving on now to Golden State, where the defending NBA champion Warriors host the Houston Rockets. Golden State, a 9.5-point favorite at Betsafe, 131 the total in this one. Now the Warriors might be one of the best teams we've ever seen in the NBA. They added some offensive firepower in the offseason, guys like Nick Young and Omri Caspi. But those guys just bit players. It's all about the core group in Golden State. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. Now Iguodala is questionable for this one, but still, the Warriors will have their core 4, and they're hosting a Houston team that made a big splash in the offseason, bringing in Chris Paul from the LA Clippers. Paul joins James Harden to give the Rockets maybe the NBA's best backcourt. But it's going to be interesting to see how quickly it's going to gel in Houston. Chris Paul, throughout his career, has been a guy who controls the ball, likes to slow down the tempo, run set plays so he can control things a bit more. And Houston last season under Mike D'Antoni, they get up and down the floor, they shoot very quickly, they score in bunches. James Harden controls the ball a lot himself, does a lot of facilitating. So again, integrating Paul is going to be a little bit different. I think both sides are going to have to compromise. The Rockets are bound to slow things down a little bit, but Paul is going to have to play off the ball a little bit. He's going to be a little different for him in Houston than it was in LA. But he's such a good player. James Harden, such a great player. I have no doubt they're going to figure it out in time. Now, will they figure it out enough here on opening night to go into Golden State and win this game or keep it close? I have my doubts. Look, I know the Rockets can score with the best of them. They surround Paul and Harden with shooters like Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza. Again, they can put up the points, and by the end of the season, they might be a legitimate challenge to this Warriors team, but I'm just not seeing it on opening night. We know the Warriors, in front of that home crowd there at Oracle Arena, they are nearly impossible to stop. Something tells me they are going to be fully engaged here on opening night. And look, I think Houston might hang around here for 2 or 3 quarters, but I think Golden State opens it up in the 4th quarter, wins this one comfortably. I do like the Warriors -9.5. There you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts on opening night of this NBA season. It is a long season, and we'll be with you throughout here at Betsafe providing tips and previews, so do hope you check back regularly. Until then, for Betsafe, I'm John Arnette.